Learn to be super successful. Subscribe to my channel, meathead.
No, all I want is a summary of the numbers. I don't need to see on it. Okay, now who put these numbers together?
Let's see.
Okay. Yeah. You didn't, right?
No.
Okay.
I'm too more like that.
No. You also don't know what you're doing, but that's a whole other subject. But you don't have to know. He's a classic example. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Doesn't matter. And you know too much.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. You ask too many questions.
All right, so I went over this with them briefly yesterday. What Jason and I are trying to do, right? We've refinanced the business. We bought, to our detriment, 4 businesses before we ever met Dan. We paid too much, didn't do it the right way, and that's why we were here. Wish we would have done it before. At this point in time, we have one business, which is a facilities maintenance company, aside from our real estate, which is this.
Does everybody understand what facility maintenance is?
So if you didn't want to deal with all the shit that goes on here, right, you would hire us. We'd put an account manager here, and we'd take care of from light bulbs to landscaping, fucking toilets, lights, carpets, cleaning, you name it. Anything having to do with maintenance at the place, right? If we didn't self-perform the work, we would sub it out, mark it up, and charge it for it. So we're to the point where we refinance.
Question.
Yes.
We pay what's called a Castle Drive premium. For every 1/10 of a mile your driveway is in this part of the world, prices are up 10%.
Fucking nuts.
Okay? So we got a driveway that's 3/4 of a mile long. So something, a plumber that would do a job for 150 pounds, but for us it's 850 pounds. And we have tried and we have fired. That's why we have 2 fixer guys in-house. Because we easily cover their salary from the premiums. And the Queen in the palace, they pay up the ass. The difference is the royal family never pays bills. When the king died, the last king, he had bills from 45 years before that had never been paid. Okay,
So anyways, we refinanced, right? We put some money out, took a good amount of money out, stashed some away. We've got money sitting there to buy companies. So now the next step is to have even more money. We're carving out the landscape portion of the business, right? So there's 2 divisions, janitorial and general maintenance, landscape maintenance. We're carving out that part. We went, for his instructions, we have an outside accounting firm that reconciles our books at the end of the month, right? So we went to them to do reviewed financials, not audited, right? This is one step below that. Reviewed financials. This is the reviewed financials with the business broken down by division, right? And then we add back.
Which division has the highest margin?
There's more revenue in the landscape side, but the margin's higher on the general maintenance and janitorial, right? Because it's a sub-base model. At the end of the day, we're using people's businesses to make money on it, and to them, business is the most important thing. We're trying to avoid having 200-300 fucking employees because that's like herding cats.
Correct.
So that's the goal. So this is what these things look like, right? This was about $20,000 US, right? They ask you 97 fucking questions. They bring the guy in house. He asks you, you name it, he fucking asks you. And if you're lying, he's gonna catch you. But you gotta be really good to make it up the right way. So we go down now, the bullshit cash flow statements, some story about me and him, how we started, what we did, blah, 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 right? Yeah, 205,000 net profit. Remember, against what he says, right? Because we started this before. We run a lot of stuff through the business. It's the American way, right? For this, that's not necessarily the best way.
You won't be able to get the highest value for the business.
You do, but it's really fucking hard because they're going to beat you up when they do the due diligence. Say, oh no, those meals, no, that's part of the business. And you say, no, that was me when I took my mom to fucking dinner for Mother's Day. No, we're not going to count that, right? So that's a fight. When it's the way he says it, it's no brainer. It's the business. There's nothing there.
So Dan, question. So if 205 was the net profit, gone through that again.
It'd be 300 cash flow, roughly.
Yeah.
Would that take 2 seconds?
Yeah.
No. 1.4, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, I told you. Huh?
All right, so
I missed it.
on the lawn and landscape side, revenues are 4.2, right?
Yep.
It's $1 million, right? So this is roughly $1.5 million. Sale price is $7 million, right? So $7 million, 5%, that's $350,000, right? So it cash flows. This will be bought by the SBA, right? Somebody shows up with a couple $1 million. If they don't, at $7 million, we'll hold the $2 million on the second. At the asking price. They're going to beat me up on the price and add back all kinds of stuff. I mean, take away add backs and we got to renegotiate. But this is financeable. The SBA cap is $5 million in the U.S.
And under special circumstances, contrary to what the SBA tells you can get more than $5 million.
Yes.
We've gotten guys that have gotten 6.7 just recently, a few weeks ago.
The SBA is much more favorable if there's real estate involved as well. Because then it's this different section and it doesn't count for that $5 million. There's ways to play with that.
Yeah. And some, maybe half of the SBA banks will consider seller's equity. But you got to call around. A few of the banks are closing down their SBAR because it's too much of a pain in the ass, and it's for small numbers. And remember, just as with the bank says that it's got to be equity, the SBA says somebody's got to have equity, but it doesn't have to be yours. And in the way our model works, it is most assuredly going to be the sellers if you do a partial seller finance. Obviously, if you do 100% seller finance, you don't need that SBA. Other than what I told you, that paying off brokers, which will kill the deal. They will come up with a million reasons why seller finance doesn't work until you say you're going to pay them. Then your deal goes right to the top. Now, I'm not telling you this doesn't happen, but 50% of the time, they're also going to get paid by the seller down the road. They're going to do a side deal, a side note, so I'm going to get paid. But you're saying you're not part of that. Because you aren't. But normally they double dip.
Originally, to get here, right, out of those 4 businesses, 1 was owner finance, 1 was just for equipment, and 2 were SBA loans. After a while, we refinanced the SBA loans, pulled money out before we did it again this time, right, this last time. So that's how we carved money out. Problem with that is you got to pay tax. What I envision the issue here is, right, we got 3 offers so far, 3 LOIs, right? One of them